Hello everyone, welcome along to the West Coast Ball Connection YouTube channel. Under 14 girls grand final in the TJBL Southern Conference. Hobart Phoenix taking on Grenadiers. And Nick, nice to have you back with us in our coverage here again, and good to be here on a Sunday morning.
That's it. Thanks again for having me, Ronnie. Looking forward to what I've heard throughout the season. These two teams playing each other. We've had some tight affairs, so hopefully we're going to have that here in the grand final.
Absolutely. So, should be well, if it's anything like what we saw in the first game saw some really good defensive pressure applied from Grenadiers and put on a good defensive display. So, we're interested to see how this game pans out.
Yeah, for sure. And I think any time you're playing at any level, but under 12s and 14s in particular, if you can take care of the ball, you give yourself a chance.
Oh, absolutely. That's right. So referees Will Oprah and Jordan Cooper as we get this one underway. As Kroll unfortunately travels. And Hobart Phoenix to get us going from the sideline. Of course, Chris Simons will be up and about here too this morning. He's barking out the instructions to his girls. So the ball with Schultz. And the ball comes with Jones here. Jones gets it back, puts up the shot. She can't get it to go. Rebound there by Barton. And we're quickly up the floor here through Geared. And gets the two and gets scoring underway. Nice
left-hand finish there by Haley. So definitely an area I'm sure she's continued to work on that skill development. And good to see her get on the board early.
Swain with it. Now to MacGyver. So Jones, this ball gets moved around a fair bit. And turnover there, sees the ball with Ward. Ward attacking to the rim, puts up the shot. Foul is on Jones. So Kroll to restart us off. Good deflection by Jones. So we'll re-go again. Ball with Sealy. Can't get it. Jones with the rebound. And again, you're tiptoeing that sideline. Of course, the light blue lines has been catching everyone out here, Nick.
It has been. Hopefully there's not too many more of those today where someone steps out of bounds, but we have seen that's been a common theme over all the grand finals so far.
Yes, playing on these big courts with so many lines here at the Kingborough Sports Centre in a multi-purpose venue. Meanwhile, Kroll puts up the two and gets the roll. So it's Grenadiers to 4. Now Schultz up the floor. Here is MacGyver who puts up the two. Can't get it to go. And the rebound there by Barton, but she was also out of bounds. So Hobart to get it back here. So Rogers to restart. She goes into Schultz. Schultz working her way through. Ball hit the floor, and then a tied up ball here. And possession arrow with Hobart Phoenix. Referee's coming for a conference.
Not sure what would they be talking about here, Ronnie?
I'm assuming something to do with the arrow or the shot clock. Maybe a number. Of course, everyone down on the bench there.
I think it's got something to do with the shot clock.
Yeah,
I presume.
Because they're running the shot clock down now.
Yeah, so it was a jump ball, right? So same team had it, so I reckon they accidentally reset it.
There we go.
Where it was. There we go.
Yep. So shot clock going to 9. There we go. So 9 seconds left on the shot clock for Hobart to produce something here. So Jones down low with that hook shot, can't get it go. Schultz with the O board and off glass. Get Hobart scoring underway here.
Good to see Eva, who's had, as you can see, it's taped up her right shoulder. Had some difficulties with that of late, so good to see her having a crack out there.
As Kroll makes the two, she gets her second basket of the game. Now up the floor here, Rogers. Rogers looking for a teammate. Now Swain. Here's Jones for two, just off. Sorry, that was McIver that passed the ball to Jones. Swain there guarding the ball currently now against Ward. So Kroll down low here to Sealy. Good defensive play by Schultz. Now Jones has it. So Jones up the floor, but Ward able to pick that one off. Now puts up the shot high off glass. Can't get that off to go. Now Schultz back down the floor here, getting heavily pressured. And foul has been called. Fouls on Sealy. Substitutions coming in. Jessica Simons coming in for Neve Swain.
It appears, correct me if I'm wrong, but just a little bit of a small bench for Phoenix. So
yes,
6, 7 players. Is that right? Yeah.
Here's my team list.
Yeah,
Nick,
right.
as he quickly just.
Yes, it must have 7.
Yep.
Yep.
Of course, I did confirm the team list with both coaches, and yes, they've got all the required players that they need. Actually, one player is unfortunately in lockdown at the moment. So
oh, really?
Yes, stay safe to her. A rebound there by Sealy, but then the ball went. Did the ball go? No, foul on the play. There was a foul on the play. Looks like it was on Eva Schultz. So 6-2. Pretty tight here early going. As both teams try to work their way through. And that foul is on Rogers.
Bruce Simon's working the refs nice and early, as he does.
As he does, yes. There's never a dull moment with Chris. But
got to keep him honest.
Yes, absolutely. Now, and of course, we should mention the referees do a fantastic job. But it's all part of the game, of course, Nick, as we well know. That, yep.
It's always it's that game within the game.
Correct.
The relationship between the coaches and refs.
Yes, absolutely. As the free throw goes down. So there'll be some fun throughout this one if we're not careful. Rogers with it. Needs to get it off. And then a quick foul here. That's going to be on Barton. Substitutions. McDonald coming in here for Sealy. So we have a stalemate really here, Nick. No, we haven't seen too much from each team from a structure standpoint. It's just more that kind of immense man-to-man pressure type play here.
Well, look, we're not even 3 minutes in and both teams were 3 fouls. So
yes.
I'm sure that, hopefully the players will make an adjustment and get their hands out and move their feet a little bit more, or else it could be a bit of a sorry game with a lot of free throws.
Yes, it could be similar to what we had in the under-18 game from yesterday. That felt slow. In the last quarter, it picked up as Geared went for the 3 but couldn't get it to go. And now McIver with it. To Jones. Now Schultz puts it to the floor. Attacks the rim, can't get it to go. Kroll with the rebound as we come up the floor here. So Kroll looks to put up the shot and can't get that to go. Jones with the rebound. And then she run out of room in the end, trying to force a pass that it really wasn't there. And Grenadiers to get it back. Shot went up by Ward, but couldn't get it to go. Now McDonald, he's Kroll from deep and couldn't get that one to go either. So Jones with it as we come down the floor here. Jones really working her way through. And foul's been called. It's going to be on Chelsea Kroll.
If they keep fouling at this rate, I feel like we're going to have a really long game on our hands. And
yes.
Next game might not start on time, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, could be. Well, you did run late in the end yesterday, of course, Nick.
Yes,
that was probably more to do with presentations from yesterday. As the 2 goes for Brooklyn Jones.
I do enjoy some great speeches by the coaches.
There was.
They do like the spotlight.
They do, don't they? As much as they don't want to admit that.
Yes.
they do. Meanwhile, the 2 goes up here for Hayley Gears. She couldn't get it to go. Good O-board there. And then Barton was in there as well too. So both Barton and Geared there getting amongst it. And another foul being called here. And now timeout's being called here. 3:45 remaining, 8 plays, 4. So, yeah, it's a bit of a stagnant start from both teams, Nick. And, yeah, we're hoping maybe this first quarter can just play out, and then hopefully in the second quarter things might just hopefully open up a little here.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, both teams being aggressive on offense, but I would say rushing shots a little bit. Yeah. So maybe a little bit more poise and, like you mentioned, maybe a little bit more structure might be beneficial for both teams. And yeah, biggest thing, like I said, both teams are in the bonus, and we're only halfway through this quarter. So I'm sure both teams will look to exploit that a little bit. But yeah, defense, we're going to do a better job of just not reaching and putting the hands out and all that kind of thing.
Absolutely. It's yes, the 2 teams here, as you mentioned at the start, Nick, have had close games throughout the season. Unfortunately, I haven't been here on Sundays due to other coaching commitments.
Yes. Domestic, right?
Domestic,
championship, right?
Yes. We'll just mention that yes, this time last week we got a win in the under-18 boys domestic grand final.
Need to point out, Daniel Saville's just walked across the court.
Where's the shield?
He's got the
Where's
plaque.
the shield?
He's showing it to the crowd. He's got a massive smirk on his face.
He's a very happy man from yesterday.
As you would be.
Glenorchy running out 13-point winners against Grenadiers in what was a 3-quarter grind. In the fourth quarter, Nick, did
it open up?
It did open up.
I actually did get I look forward to watching the replay.
Yes.
Before. I wasn't here for that.
Yes, I will. I'm hoping to get that game processed tonight, so we'll have it up online during the next day or two, along with the rest of the games you can see on the West Coast Ball Connection YouTube channel. Meanwhile, Ward's free throw missed on that one, and then Barton tried to do something but wasn't able to, and then Jones has it now for Hobart Phoenix. So we come over halfway here through Schultz. Schultz puts on a move and puts up the shot. She was able to draw a foul out of that, and we'll go to the line for 2. So here was Schultz here at the line. And Nick, I think some of the names we're mentioning here, there'd be a few of these girls in our FDP program, and also would be going into SDP coming up in the next cycle.
Yeah, no, really good representation here from both teams. Hobart and Grenadiers full of like you mentioned, FDP athletes, and a majority of them are moving up to SDP, which is awesome to see that. And yeah, no, it's been really fun working with most of these athletes. And there's a couple as well who are on the floor who are trialling and, I guess are joining for this new cycle as well. So it's great to see so many of these athletes part of our programs. Yes, absolutely. No, it's great that they're taking their next step in their pathway and coming through our state programs, which is really great to see. Substitutions being made out on the floor here. So play to restart now, and ball last deflected there by Geared. Of course, again, another decent-sized crowd here. We had a good crowd in for that under-12s game, Nick. They made some noise and a bit of atmosphere, which was great to see, I thought. It was awesome. I've never seen the crowd of the losing team get into it so much when they're down by 50, but that was awesome to see that.
An offensive foul's been called here on Geared for the hook. That was on the drive on the baseline. It was great. I think it was good to see support and encouragement regardless of the score.
Yeah, exactly right. And you saw, the Revs girls played hard, and
they did.
Need to make mention that they did a really good job of, just getting to the final. I think they had almost a buzzer beater shot in the prelim to get them there.
Yes.
And you could just see their faces light up anytime they would score or whatnot, and the crowd would get into it. And that's awesome for those girls.
Schultz again being aggressive on the offensive end, was able to draw a foul on Barton, and Eva Schultz will go back to the line for 2. So another substitution here. Looks like Sealy's coming back in for Barton. So Eva Schultz back to the line here for 2. Makes the first.
We might have a 3-on-3 match by the end of the game if everyone keeps fouling.
Yeah, he's a slight concern at the moment, Nick. Yeah, so it would state the obvious. We're already up to 9 fouls already in this first quarter. So let's hope both teams just adjust how this game's being officiated. That sometimes that can be the toughest thing for teams, just to adjust to officiating, especially in finals, as the 2 goes up there for geared, because the finals can be reffed a little bit differently to the normal season.
And it's naturally you get you get better officials for the finals.
That's right.
Which is obviously a good thing.
Yes.
But then in theory, it's a good thing in theory, but
yeah.
In practice you end up having 2 quality refs, which maybe you might not have had throughout the regular season.
Correct.
And there's an adjustment, like you mentioned there.
Mm. I've always said to my teams, if the first team that can adjust to the officiating usually can win the game.
That's
so.
it. Your under 18 domestic boys must have done that, right?
Yes. We had 2 referees that weren't on our games all season,
really?
Nick. So there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, so again, smart thinking from the coach here. Meanwhile, back on the floor, swaying with it now, and she gets a bit of pressure from Brenshaw. And Jones for 3, just long on that one, and that will go out of bounds. So, yeah, sometimes it can be, it's a bit of a war of nutrition out there. As you say, game within the game, and a lot of mind games as well too out there, Nick. So a lot riding on the line sometimes. So the ball with Tegg. Now McDonald in term to Gear. She goes baseline on the drive, has to kick it out there. Now a shot here. Well, no, McDonald decided not to put up a shot because 2 Hobart Phoenix players were there. Now swaying with it, needs to bring it back to the middle. Rogers with it as we come back up the floor. And the pass inside to Jones here for the 2. So a little bit of... So Hobart up by 3 here, 11-8. So Tegg. And they lost it on that one, and then a foul on the play here. So now an unsportsmanlike foul has been called here from referee Sean Cooper. That's going to be on... Was that on 32? Yeah, 32 on McDonald. So... what
do you think of that one, Ronnie?
If anything, it'd have to be within, well... Clear path.
Maybe I think a tough one, that one.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's a 50-50 one.
Yeah, if that's the rule, that's the rule. So.
Yeah. So Hobart to get the ball on the side. Of course, that you still get possession on the unsportsmanlike foul. With a technical foul, you go back to the last point of play.
Yeah, which, obviously they've only made that change in the last year or two with the technical foul, but it's funny because, it makes the unsportsmanlike foul twice as bad as the technical.
It does.
Which is an interesting, but is what it is.
Correct. And meanwhile, Ward for the long 2, can't get it to go. Rebound by Sealy. She couldn't get the shot to go now. Ball here with Schultz as we come back down the floor. We're just near on a minute remaining as Jones looks to attack the basket here. Pass into Simons, who can't get the 2. Jones able to get the rebound. Now back to Schultz. Schultz pulls up from the elbow. Long on that one. And then good work there by Swain. So Rogers. McIver, that's McIver. Puts up the 2. Can't get that one to go either. Sorry, that was Rogers. I'm getting my numbers muddled up there. Apologies. That foul's been called on Swain. So we're walking down to the upper end here for 2 free throws. So Chelsea Kroll at the line. Of course, her mum over on the bench there is the team manager. And her grandma is doing the bench.
Really?
There you go. Let's say Lynn down there in that violet scarf. She's down there doing the bench. She does there you go, Nick.
There you go. You know a lot more than I do, right?
There you go, yes. Yes. So an all-family affair on that one. But here we go. Simon's with it now. Back to Jones. So Jones. Now Rogers. So Rogers looking at her options. Wants to go to Simons, but then the ball gets turned over there. So Sealy, now Ward, as we come back down here, and then Swain over to good hands there. And then a foul on the play, and Swain will go to the line for 2 free throws. So 11.3 to go. And I'm sure the quarter time message hopefully will be play with your hands out and get in front. I'm hoping that might be some part of the message.
I'm sure it will be. That and you know, some of it's been body contact and just got to, do a better job of giving that gap a bit more, I guess.
That's right. And then that wall up, you know, with the principal there too, Nick, and that type of thing. So here we go, final play here. You would think of the first quarter here as Renshaw travelled in the process, and Hobart Phoenix will get one more chance here to score before the quarter time break. Yep. So Jones looking to inbound. So Jones was going to Schultz on this play. Schultz,
don't foul.
Schultz needs to go all the way. Doesn't get it off. Well, she got it off in time, but it missed. So quarter time sees Hobart up by 3. 11 plays 8, and what was a tough first quarter, Nick, for both teams really, and making sure to, you know, really now, as we just spoke about, try not to foul or just to the officiating, but also too now from an offensive and defensive end. And let's get into a bit more structure here and see if we can play off that.
Most definitely, and been a bit of a grind with, like we've spoken about, a fair bit of fouling going on. So
yes.
I'm sure, like we said, the coaches are going to be talking about that, and the athletes will hopefully make an adjustment there. And yes, would like to see just maybe a little bit more poise offensively from the teams and a little bit more structure. Just to not, you know, if there's nothing on, just keep moving that ball and be patient. And, you know, it's important to note, under 14s, like, the shot clock doesn't start until we go over halfway. So, you know, you essentially got 32 seconds if you want for each possession. So I think just not settling for shots. I'm sure the coaches will be talking about that here in the quarter time huddles.
I'm hoping so. So just about at the end here of quarter time, as both teams will make their way out on the floor. You're on the other court there, Nick, looking at the Shield final as well too. Who got up in that one?
Was this under 14s?
Well, whoever was first on
just
show
before?
court. Yeah, just before.
Yes, we had the under 14 Shield, and it was Hobart Phoenix, which a couple of these players that are here right now.
Doubling up.
Were in that. So they defeated the Kings.
Okay. Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, really good effort there, and that's one of the, you know, advantages of having the Shield and Championship is some of the, you know, younger players can double up on games, and give them that opportunity to get that little bit more court time, which is awesome. Great to hear, and great to see as well too, Nick. And Coach Chris Simon's doubling up a little bit as well.
Yes.
And hit one of his assistants here, Sacordia Swain.
Yep.
They basically flip jobs for the Shield. She's the head coach, and Chris is the assistant. So good to see that continuity with the coaching staff.
Oh, absolutely, and good to see a youngster there also taking the coaching reins as well too, and having that opportunity to experience something different in the game.
Most definitely, and, you know, like I mentioned, having, you know, Chris there and providing some support and guidance is always good for the young coaches, and great to see, you know, Cordia, who's in our SDP program, has been there for a number of years, is pretty keen on, you know, giving back to the sport, and I know for a fact she's made a really good impact already in her first year of coaching under 14s.
Great to hear as Rogers misses that hook shot. Now we come back down the other end of the floor here through Barton and gets that roll there for the 2. And it's actually Grenadiers up by 5. I might have said Hobart were up by 3 at quarter time. Apologies there. It's actually Grenadiers that are up currently at the moment. So ball out of bounds. Jordan Cooper having to run a fair way away.
While we're buying some time, is it just me, or is the green and black a little bit confusing at times?
It can be, and the lighting here too at the Sports Centre kind of doesn't help our cause.
We haven't seen a turnover yet where they've just passed the other team.
That's right.
If it happens, I wouldn't be surprised.
True, yes. Green, I think that green just needs to be a bit more brighter,
yes.
I think. That's all, as the shot went up there by Schultz, but couldn't get it to go. Now, Kroll here, up the floor here to Ward. So Ward looking for a pass into Barton for the 2.
Nice finish there by Barton. Back-to-back plays. Good touch around the rim.
Yep. And off glass too as well. Very nice. So Swain here working away through. Rogers puts it to the floor. Now Jones. So Jones has to kick it out. And now that was Rogers again, but then Jones put up the shot. She couldn't get it to go. Now Swain should be able to get this one. We're all good on the back court since that one. And Swain works her way through. Looking for a teammate. Needs a bit of help. A little bit of stagnant here from Hobart as Jones finds a way through. Can't get the layup to go. And then the ball get trickled out, but Grenadiers able to recover it.
And it needs to be pointed out, Ronnie, we haven't had a foul so far this quarter. And
no.
The game's just that little bit more free-flowing, and
yep.
Which is good to see.
Absolutely. No. It's, again, both teams are making that adjustment, so it's good. So shot goes up by Barton. Can't go off glass again, but gets her own rebound and gets the two.
Why not? Why not? Good follow there, and again, good touch around the rim.
And Chris Simons has seen enough. He will call timeout. And Grandies lead it by 9, 17-8 here. 5.5 to go. And yes, this quarter's gone a little bit more quicker, Nick.
Yes, it has.
Yes.
And just, naturally, good adjustment by the teams. And, a bit more free-flowing, which obviously right now it's paying good dividends for Grenadiers. We've just gone on a 6-0 run. Good timeout there by Coach Simons, just to stop the run and regroup the troops.
Absolutely. So, again, just poking my head around here. Again, there's always a good crowd build-up throughout the day. And again, now Phoenix have got their streamers and things out and about here too. I've seen people coming with signs, balloons, everything here this morning, Nick. So
the Wolves, I dare say, left their balloons up from yesterday.
Yep, I'd say so. I think they put up additional. I believe there were additional balloons.
They've claimed that prime property of the top of those goals over there.
They certainly have. And of course, the under-16 final is an all Southern Wolves affair too, Nick.
Yeah, it'd be good to see that one. So you've got. You got Coach James Murray,
yes,
who has taken his team from third place, I believe.
Yes.
Third or fourth.
Yep.
And the last two games, the semi-final, preliminary final, they've had 5 players. So good to see them, show some grit and get through to that. And taking on the other Wolves team, which is a really strong team, full of a lot of talent and. Hopefully a good match.
Hopefully so. McIver misses the shot. We're looking forward to that. That is coming up next on our schedule here on Show Court 1. As the shot went up, missed. Barton gets another O board. And Sealy able to join the party too. And then Ward also. And then another miss. And then Barton finally gets the 2.
Grenadiers definitely, any chance they can, they're crashing that glass hard. And you saw there 4 or 5 players in there trying to rebound. And Hobart Phoenix going to have to do a better job of blocking out and getting them out of there to secure those rebounds.
And usually a rule of thumb, you'd always send, maybe send 3 to the boards.
Yeah, it depends on your system, I guess.
Yeah.
There's many different ways of doing it. I think for Grenadiers it ties in a bit with just their offense. At times their spacing maybe isn't textbook where you have multiple players, but the advantage of that is you're then in there for prime offensive rebounding position. Absolutely.
As Swain puts up the shot, she doesn't get that one to go. Ward with the rebound as we're coming back down the floor here now. So Ward looking for a teammate in Barton. There was a foul on the play. It will be waved off.
If you're Hobart Phoenix, you'll take that foul.
Yes, so that's our first foul of the quarter right away too.
Saved an easy 2 points there for Barton, who's been really finishing well around the hoop here this quarter.
Yes, certainly has. Schultz coming in for McIver. And Quarrel here to restart. So Ward now to Barton. Barton using that pivot foot. And then good defense by Jones. And the ball on the floor here. Players will have to dive for it. And a little bit like yesterday, we saw a few bodies hit the floor. And no change there. And some smiles all around.
Great hustle there by the athletes. Good to see them get on the floor.
Absolutely. Of course, playing on the big court here today. So Kroll, and yes, she did travel.
Not sure about that one. She's checked with the coach, but I think it's a fair call, that one.
Yeah, from our angle, from what I was looking at, Nick, it looked like travel to me. So, though I may hear it from a nan later if she watches it back during the week. Meanwhile, Swain. Now Rogers here. Shot clock at 8 here for Hobart Phoenix, so they need to get something happening. Swain decides to go for it, nearly got it. And then good rebound there by Sealy. Now Ward will bring it down. And then good attack here by Geared, but ball went out of play, and Hobart to get it back. So Hobart need a few baskets here just to really pull this margin back in. They've had some they've had some looks, but haven't been able to convert.
Have they scored this quarter?
No, they haven't. No.
I think Grenadiers are doing a good job defensively of just, kind of getting in the lanes a little bit, denying passes, being disruptive that way, which has just taken Hobart a little bit out of their structure, so to speak. And I'm sure they'll make an adjustment as the game goes on.
Yeah, they certainly will. Here, so Simons to restart. Now Schultz had Rogers available, but Schultz decides to go solo. Can't get that one to go. Good work by Simons to reel that one back in. And again, another jump ball called. So possession arrow with Hobart. 3:17 remaining here in this first half. And Simons goes into Schultz, but then good work there by Sealy. And ball last touch by Hobart. So Grenadiers to get it back here. Coaches barking out instructions. So the ball with Teg. Goes for a long two and missed everything, unfortunately. So both teams just rushing a little bit in what they're trying to do. Hopefully we can get a score here in this next possession or so. 3 minutes remaining as Swain has a look at what she wants. Now the ball with Rogers for 3. Can't get that to go either. Now Ward coming down the floor. Ward puts up the shot. Can't get that to go either. Feel like we're in a bit of a stalemate here, Nick, where we're just going up and down the floor a little bit and nothing really happening on each end. A little bit. As Jones finds a way through. Short on the layup. Crowell with the rebound as we come back down the floor now. And then a foul on the play here. That's going to be on Rogers.
And I think, if you Hobart, last 2 players haven't scored, but good aggressive take there by Brooklyn, and the play before, good look there by Maggie, wide open on the 3 and more than capable of, knocking that shot down. So, I'm sure Coach Simons will be preaching, hey, we're still getting good looks, stay aggressive, they'll fall. But yeah, they definitely need to score soon just to keep that pressure on.
Absolutely, and well, I was going to say nearly on cue, the score was going to come there, but not to no avail. But good work there by Geared, who was able to get the rebound. Now she tries to attack the basket. Now Teg, in turn Barton, and then Jones. Well, I'd say there was a bit of body there as well too. It looked clean upstairs, but I'd say there was some body contact on that foul.
Oh, I think that's probably a consistent call of how they called it in the first quarter. So
yes,
fair call from my point of view.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, Nick. So Alicia Barton at the line here. Missed the first, missed the second. Rebound by Schultz. And now Rogers up the floor here for Hobart. Rogers uses Pitt for the 2, can't get it to go. And then Barton there for the rebound. So a little bit of height here too for Grenadiers, which is kind of working their advantage as well on that rebounding contest. This ball getting moved around. Here's McDonald for 2 and gets serious of a friendly roll.
They got to get a score here, Hobart, or else they're going to have a lot of work to do in the second half if they don't.
So Jones can't get that to go, a little bit too high, and then fights a way through, and she drew a foul, so she'll go to the line for 2. So Jones has been working hard in this game, Nick, and just again being aggressive on the offensive end. Probably just some of the shots, probably a little bit too high on just rushing on that
Yeah, a little bit.
Finish.
Just a little bit hard. I think had been a lot of her attempts, just a bit too hard off the backboard. So maybe a little bit high and soft is what we talk about.
Yep.
You know, for all shots, you want to be high and soft. So which is a hard thing to do, especially not to free throw down.
Yep.
But hard thing to do when you do go to the rim hard is to then like go hard at the hoop but finish with that soft touch.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the ball with Tegg here for this 2 and gets it to go. Nice shot there by Sophie Tegg. So the margin out to 12 here at the current point. 12 or 14. My apologies. It is Sunday, Nick, so...
It is Sunday. The thing's a little bit in the way. Or
yeah.
Maybe, well, from my point of view, it's in the way, but...
Oh, yes, where we are. Yeah, where we are, the scoreboard is, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
We get a nice view of the court, though, and the play down from up here where we are. So play to restart here through Rogers. Now Jones. Jones puts it to the floor, looking for Swain. Has to retreat and grab it. So Swain in the Schultz. Schultz with a good post position there. Works her way through. Nice move. And a badly needed 2.
Absolutely. 3 points here in the last 30 seconds or so for Hobart. Some much needed points.
Absolutely. So Tegg going for back-to-back baskets. Can't get that to go. Barton with that rebound. And then nearly can't get a go off glass. Schultz has it now. Needs a help here. Jones supplies that. So Jones coming up the floor. Trying to work her way through. Now Swain. And here's Rogers. Now it's McIver. And now the shot goes up by Schultz. Actually, that was Pitt as well too in the play, not McIver. She's currently on the bench.
Nice left hand finish there by Eva.
So good work there. So Hobart have been able to rally a few points here late. As this margin is now back to 10. Barca could make it 12, but can't. So Schultz there with it, and then some hands inside, but then the halftime buzzer goes, sees Grenadiers up by 10. Nice little fight back, though, by Hobart in those last couple of minutes, Nick.
Yeah, nice to get 5 points there on the board late in the quarter, which was much needed. Just gives, puts a little bit of scoreboard pressure on Grenadiers.
Absolutely. So sets up a good second half coming up. See if Hobart can rally back here. Now, Nick, we're happy to send you off.
I'm going to duck off. I'm going to watch some of the game next door. And,
yep.
You might see me way to this game, but definitely next game.
All right, not a problem at all, Nick. So, yep, you're right to go for it. We can take a break, and then I can come back with the second half after this. All right, second half underway here. There's Grenadiers get the ball through here with Kroll, and she goes up for the shot and banks it off the window. Chelsea Kroll just flinging that one up and getting the backboard use there. And then good pass inside here to Pitt, Emily Pitt with the 2. Nice work by her. So ball coming up the floor here, and then good defensive play by Hobart to get that ball deflected. You can hear Chris Simons in the background there, just barking out those instructions as Swain brings it down the floor here. So Swain inside to Schultz, beautiful play. We just can't able to convert that one. And the ball up here with Ward. Ward into Barton, and then rejected by Jones. Good defensive play here by Hobart. And then Kroll able to pick that one off, goes up, and Kroll wanted a foul. Referees didn't see it that way. She tries to state her case, but referee Jordan Cooper not buying it. So Kroll to restart. So Barton down low, and that is the travel. She wasn't allowed to. You can't step through on the initial step. So that is a travel. And Swain comes back down the floor here. So Swain looking for a teammate. So Rogers puts it to the floor, kicks it out to Jones. Jones looking to explore here, off glass, nice kind of step through, kind of bank it too, and then Swain able to pick that one off. So Swain now, again, looking for another teammate. Rogers, now Pitt. So Schultz splits through a couple, puts up the shot, and she'll go to the line for 2. Substitution's been made. Whoop, there goes up. Just change our effects mic around. Apologies. If you are hearing the rattle, that's our effects mic just going round. You can hear the sounds of the game as Schultz can't get the free throw to go. Just flat on that one. And Schultz can't make the second either. No, rebound here with Rogers. And then Ward able to peel that one off. And then up the floor we come here through McDonald for the 2. Just short on that one. And then Barton gets the 2 to go. So Swain. And Schultz looking for a teammate here. And Swain once again, good pass into Jones, but yes, Chris Hines might not be happy with that execution on the pass. Now Geard puts up the 2, can't get the go. Barton again, just her presence on the boards and that extra height really paying off dividends, and Chris Hines has called time out here to address that. They've got to do a better job of boxing out. So leaders at 12 here for Grenadiers, 29-17 is our scoreline. So both teams back out on the floor here. And we are restarting, 5:46 remaining in this third quarter. So Rogers, now Swain. Swain thinking about her options here. She goes down low into Rogers. Rogers finds an opening and gets the 2 to go. We're back to a 10-point ball game. There's Geard. And the ball, Sealy. Sealy works her way through, puts up the 2. She can't get it to go. Rebound by Rogers. Rogers down the floor, and then we have a foul on the play here. It's something that's going to be assessed on Hayley Geard. So Rogers now to Pitt. Here's Schultz with it. Schultz working out her way to get through. She finds a way through and off glass finds the 2. So again, good patience by Schultz there just to stay composed and make a good drive to the basket there. Meanwhile, down the other floor, errant pass, which leads to a turnover. So now Schultz with it now. Gives it to Rogers. So Rogers up the floor here to Pitt. Pitt, nice drive, and then good defense there by Grenadiers. So Barton with it now as we come back up the floor. This looks like it's going to be the last touch by Grenadiers. So Hobart to get it back. Substitutions. Chelsea Kroll coming in along with Freya McIver. And there's Sealy and Pitt coming off for the respective teams. So Hobart trying to make a play call and trying to execute here on their offensive set. And then Jones on the back door and just mistimed that. So Ward coming down the floor and then good pass into Geared for the 2. Nice play by Grenadiers. So Swain trying to go to McIver down low and then the ball goes out of bounds. So Kroll. Now McDonald. So ball getting moved around, some sets of hands here for Grenadiers as they try to look for a good play. Kroll now goes back to McDonald here. Shot clock at 10. So Barton. Now Ward getting a little bit stuck. Has to put up a tough shot and it goes. Evie Ward with a miraculous play. Should go to the line for 1. That was called on Swain. So Ward here at the line. Can't get the 3-point play to happen. Rebound there by McIver. And a held ball. That will see Hobart get the ball. Looks like Simons is going to come back in. And Rogers is going to have a rest. So Swain into Simons. Here's Jones, thought about it. Now she pulls the trigger and off glass, gets the triple. Nice shot there by Brooklyn Jones. Geared now. Here's McDonald for 2. And then Kroll with the scraps here and can't get the shot to go. Foul off ball. So foul's called on Ward for a hold. Hobart to get it back. So Swain works her way through. Now to Jones. Jones puts up the 2. Still can't get that finish to happen. And then Schultz there for the 2. So margin here is back to 7. Now Geared for 3. And we have a wedgie. We'll get a zoom in on that. Here it is for everyone at home. And there we go. Now we'll come back to a wide shot. And apologies there for adjusting our camera. Should be right, we should be right now. Just to keep adjusting that as we go along here, folks. So Hobart Phoenix with the ball as we come back down the floor. Here ball quickly up the floor, but Ward able to get that one. And now Barton is clear here and can't get the 2 to go. Schultz and then Barton go back at it. And then Schultz drew a foul. Well, Barton drew the foul on Schultz. A bit of an arm in there from the angle that we had. It's the first. And missed the second. So violation as it didn't hit the ring, so we'll now go to the sideline. So Swain. Now Simons putting it to the floor, looking at an option here. So Swain pulls up for 3. In and out on that one. Rebound there by Barton once again. Now Geared bringing it up the floor here. Pulls it back out and retreats. Now Coral into Ward. We're back to Geared here as she makes a move to the basket. Kroll open for the mid-range. Just short on that one. Rebound by Jones. And Jones off and running. He's got Kroll to beat on this one. Goes. Can't get that one to go. And ball goes out of play. Hobart ball. Yep, nice execution on the play. As Schultz gets that to go, should go to the line for one. And again, good patience on the play. Found that opening, and Schultz there able to convert. Ward coming off here for Teg. And Schultz, can she? Yes, she can. Converts to three-point play. Marching back to 4 as Hobart chip away at this lead throughout this third quarter. We're on 80 seconds to play. Shot goes up. Foul has been assessed. And it's going to be on Schultz. So Sealy at the line for 2. Can't make the first one. Can't make the second. Barton with the board, but then couldn't get the putback. Geared able to work that one through. Goes up, can't get that to go either. And then it's Sealy with it. Foul's been called once again. And it's going to be on Jones. So substitutions here. Kroll coming out for Brenshaw. Or Brensan, sorry. Again, apologies there if I get that surname wrong. Sealy at the line here, knocks down the first, extends the lead for Grenadiers to 5. Can she make it 6? No, she cannot. But again, Grenadiers been active on the O boards. Ball down low here to Barton. Now back to Geared there. Oh, sorry, Sealy, my apologies, now Geared on cue gets the 2. So marching back out to 7. At one stage, we've got this back to 4, and Hobart threatening here. So ball gets passed into Jones. Jones puts up the 2, can't get that 2 to go. And jump ball called. So Jones puts up the shot. Can't get that to go either. Jones, not the best of games from finishing in close in this one here. Shot goes up by Brenton. Now, a number of plays in this. It's a hotly contested ball. Swain able to pick that one up. Swain off and running. Gives it off to Jones. Jones with Schultz in support. Uses a great play by Hobart Phoenix. It will count. Even Schultz will go back to the line for 1 with 18.3 remaining to try to make it a 4-point ball game. And violation, and looks like Jones stepped in early, so Grenadiers have an opportunity here to score on this final possession, you would imagine. So, and travel call there. Sealy running before she put the ball to the floor. So 11.7. Swain. Swain getting trapped here at halfway. Now McIver. She puts it to the floor. Can't get that shot to go. And in three-quarter time beats us there. So three-quarter time is here. Grenadiers hold on to a 5-point lead of 36-31. Final quarter about to get underway here from the Kingross Sports Centre. Hobart Phoenix take it on Grenadiers here in the Under-14 Girls Championship Grand Final. And Grenadiers holding on to a 5-point lead here. as we start the last course in the under-14s. It's 4 by 8-minute quarters, and the shot clock doesn't start till we go over the halfway line. So a couple of different rules in that, but we are now underway here, term number 4, and Grenadiers control it. Here through Geared, now Kroll. And back to Geared for the 2, and can't get that to go. Good rebound by Ward, who gets the putback. So Swain with it. Now Jones. Jones working away through, puts up a shot and gets that rattled home. And nice, and a badly bucket needed there for Hobart to keep this within arm's reach. They trail it by 5. Meanwhile, Sealy gets the 2. So ball going in deep. Aaron pass there was picked off. Now Grenadiers up the floor here. And then Kroll for the 2. Yes. So Swain bringing it down. Margin back out to 9 here. So Swain puts up the shot. Drew a foul. She'll go to the line here for 2. Substitutions coming in here. So it will be Pitt coming in for Simons. So Swain at line for 2, knocks down the first. And knocks down the second. So Geared works away inside here to Barton, who puts up the 2, and again, and the fouls on Jones. So substitutions here, looks like Geared coming off, and that will be Ted coming back in. So Alice Barton at the line here for 2. Knocks down the first. And knocks down the second, but no, waved off. She broke the line. Excuse me. Only the free throw shooter can cancel their own bucket, so that's what happened on that play there. So score will stay 43-35 is our score line. 8 points is our margin as MacGyver just went into a bit of traffic there, and then Ward able to pick up the scraps as we're off and running. Ward puts up the 2, can't get to go off glass, and the rebounding has been there, but good work by Jones and MacGyver to reject that one. Now ball getting moved through sets of hands here as Grenadiers look for a shot. And ball goes out of play. And Grenadiers to get it back, so Kroll to restart. Again, a good crowd building up here as well too. Of course, we have the under 16 girls next, and all some Wolves affair. So plenty of people out and about. Yeah, again, we've got a lot of people on our broadcast side here, and a lot of people on the other side of that grandstand as well too, as we're just working out the shot clock here. I believe that's what we are attending to. Of course, we have presentations after the game, and we'll be down on court presenting those. And we'll have Chris Somerville, the chair of Basketball Tasmania, to present the medallions to the winners and runners-up. Meanwhile, shot was missed, and Jones it down the floor here. So Jones working away through, and can't get that one to go either. So been a tough day at the office, that's for sure. Meanwhile, down the other end, Ward gets the 2 and the foul. She'll go to the line for 1. the lead back out to 10. Swain coming in for Pip. And Ward makes the three-point play. So margin out to 11 here, 46-35 is our scoreline. Just on 5 of the bit to go here in this last quarter. Swain finds an opening, can't get it to go though. Rebound by Sealy. And then Jones able to pick this one off. Jones works her way through, and this time, yes. Jones able to knock that one down and get that too. So nice work by her. So Ward. Now Teg then threw it to Jones inadvertently, but Jones will take it nonetheless. Jones has got Kroll to beat, puts it up, can't get the back-to-back baskets. And now Sealy now to Kroll. Kroll works her way through. That running kind of runner shot wasn't there on that occasion. And Hobart Phoenix really fighting hard for the ball, but they just lost it in that one. More substitutions being made here. So Geared and looks like that's Brenshaw coming in. And timeout has been called. So 5:03 remaining here. Grenadiers lead it by 9, 46-37. As I mentioned, we've got under 16 girls grand final coming up next. Wolves v Wolves. We will film the Shield final as well too. We've just seen Tasmanian Jack Jumpers head coach Scott Roth coming through into this part of the stadium, having a bit of a look around too. So great to see the Jack Jumpers personnel here as well too. So he's have a bit of a sit. You'll have a bit of a watch. And yeah, great to see all the clubs here in attendance over the weekend as well too. Again, a really good crowd here that has built up. So lots of people in front of us here broadcast side, and lots of people on that other side of the grandstand as well too. Now looking down on the baseline, especially down change room end, it's pretty, there's a few people out there as well too. So great to see everyone here on grand final day, which is always a fun time of the year in the basketball season as well too, as we now approach the end point and a little bit of a break, and then all the teams come back for their club tryouts and whatnot later in the year, and then of course next season will come around in about March. Usually is the tip-off time for the new season. But Kroll to restart us off here. She gives it off to Geared. Down to Brenshaw. Kroll. Ball getting moved around through sets of hands here. Ball down low now. Tough shot by Ward. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Schultz. And then Swain with it now. Slowing this one down a bit. Swain looking to give it off to Schultz. Schultz thought about it. Now needs a teammate to help out here. And then an errant pass sees Hobart get it back. But a little miscommunication here on the offensive end. Just having a bit of a troubled time here for Hobart. So Schultz, and then good play here by Rogers, who gets the seconds on that one and gets the 2 to go. So the ball getting again moved around here. Grenadiers looking to attack that middle part of the key. And then Rogers able to pick that one up, but then an errant pass. And then the 2, no, can't get that to go. Ball goes out of bounds. Grenadiers to restart. So play restarts here. Shot goes up by Barton, can't get that to go. And the ball up the floor quickly here, Jones. And the pass got picked off there by Geared. So Geared coming up the floor here now. So Geared will have a look at her options as well too. So Ward, Brenshaw, now Geared with it. Finds that opening in the middle, puts up a shot and drew the foul. And let's see, the referee's having a bit of a conference here. So So the foul will be called. It wasn't a shooting foul, so it occurred on the floor. So Geard puts up the 2 and gets it to go. She knocks that one down. So the ball with Swain. Swain finds an opening. That's a defensive breakdown by the Grenadiers team, and Swain took advantage of it. Great recognition and vision to see that opening. Great drive. And now another turnover and then a quick foul on the play here. So that will be assessed on Geard. And Hayla Geard has fouled out. She had a good game. She's played well. She's contributed in all areas where she can. And Sophie Tech will come in. And timeout has been called by Grenadiers. They lead it by 7, 3:08 remaining here in the last quarter. And tension building around the place a little bit as well too here. As well as we a bit of a quick pan around the crowd again. And of course we have our effects mic on as well too, so we can hear the sounds of the game and the ambient sounds of the crowd as well. So we can see in the background the under-16 Southern Wolves team number 2. Southern Wolves 2 as they're known in the red. So they're all warming up, getting ready to go. So I'm thinking they're taking this quite seriously. Good to see though, good to see they get into a proper warm-up. We will hold them up for a few minutes while presentations are going. And down the other end, James Murray, Tristan, his girls down there. Now they've only had, I think, 5 or so players throughout the season and have battled hard all the way through. And so we expect that to be a really good matchup. And we'll have Nic Martin in for that one for commentary as well too, seeing that all the games are done on the other show court. So we'll have Nick for the entire game for that one. So stick around or click on the next game when you're on our West Coast Ball Connection YouTube channel as well too. If you want to watch that, you can watch many other games on there. Meanwhile, here back on the floor, Swain looking for the handoff to Jones. Jones, well, she's got it now. Swain did a good job of holding on to the ball, I should really say, as Rogers puts up a shot. Can't get that to go. Kroll with the rebound, now double teamed and needs to get out of it. Ward there to support. Ward doing a good job, and then the quick double team flies. Good work by Rogers. Now the ball here with McIver as she looks for a teammate. Jones open. Can't get it to go. Kroll with the rebound as we come back down the floor here now. So Ward puts up the shot. She can't get it to go. Barton with the rebound. Now all of a sudden the ball with Kroll once again, and Kroll has come down clutching her knee. Let's hope she's okay and it's nothing too serious. And she just came down a bit awkwardly and never great to see either, but let's hope she's okay. Everyone coming to help here. Good to see both coaches from both teams now giving some assistance. That's great sportsmanship. They'll quickly get her off here. And I'm sure the mother there will definitely check on her as well too, which is team manager, of course, Sarah Kroll there. So they'll sit her down, but a nice round of applause as well too from the crowd here. So we hope she's okay. So both teams in a huddle at the moment. Assistant coach Matt McIver having a talk with the Phoenix team, and Grenadiers in a players only huddle over there having a quick discussion as well. So we'll see. So play to resume here. So Hobart Phoenix to get the ball. The game was stopped. There was no foul on the play. So Hobart Phoenix had control of it on the whistle. So Swain works her way through, kicks it out. Rogers. Now Jones. So Jones trying to cross over through, puts up the shot. She can't get it to go. And then the ball quickly up the floor here. Here's Ward. as everyone is trying to find a seat around the place. It is starting to get packed out here as Jones now plays for a bit of contact and keeps on going. So Jones kicks it out. Here's Swain with it. Swain puts up a tough shot. She can't get it to go. Then rebound there by, well, that was Searley. So Searley, and then that's a travel as she kind of slided away through to a degree. So 7 points. Hobart need to get a score here on this possession and then quickly try and make things happen here. So Swain, now McIver, in-turn Jones. So Jones thought about it and then tries to go into Schultz, but green jerseys were there to pick that one off. Now Ward with it as we come back down the upper floor. Runner is just off. Barton with the O-board. She can't get it. Good rebound there. And now ball coming down here through Schultz. Schultz tries to go to Jones. Jones reels it in. Can't get that miraculous play. The Hobart won a foul. Referees didn't see it that way. And now foul on the play here. We'll see a Grenadiers side ball. Minute 2 remaining. So extensive pressure needed by Hobart Phoenix here to get a stop. Good hands by Swain, and that's the turnover Hobart we're looking for. Good active hands there to force that ball to go out of bounds. So substitution going to be made here. Brenshaw looking to come back in. So Schultz and then Jones able to get that pass after the pass, a little bit risky. Now McIver works her way through, has to get out. Jones for 3. Just can't get that one to go. And then Swain, that one just bobbled up awkwardly for her. Now she's able to get it back. Hobart do need a quick score here. Ball down low into Jones. Jones puts up the shot and draws the foul. Should go to the line for 2. And Jones will now head for 2 free throws. 36.5 remaining in this last quarter. Would have to make both free throws here. And then Hobart do have Hobart can foul and put Grenadiers at the line if they want. Or go for the steal. Jones knocks down to second. So back to 6 points here, 48-42. And now quick pressure needs to be applied here as we come up the floor. And then Ward able to get that one. And then Swain, good hands there. Hobart need to get off and running. Rogers has to work away through. Pass into Jones. Makes the 2. We're back to 4 points now. 48-44 here. Again, they need to apply extensive pressure. And they get it. Can they get the ball back? No, Ward able to hold on. And then a foul on the play. That's on Jones. And that might be her 5th personal by the looks of it. And that is her 5th personal. So Simon's coming in. Great effort by Brooklyn Jones. She's had a really good game. Has worked very hard to help her Hobart Phoenix side get back in this ball game. We have a malfunction with the scoreboard. So we'll run it back down. So Ward at the line here. We're just waiting for the game clock to go to where it needs to be. .14. Of course, Lynn Males on the score table bench for this morning's game. Of course, she also is a score table official on the Hobart Chargers games in the NBL 1 South competition as well too. Water misses the first. So an opportunity here for Hobart Phoenix. If they can get the rebound and quickly get up the floor, this will just make things a tad interesting. Ward misses the second. Good rebound by Grenadiers. That could well do it. And Hobart needs to probably foul or get a quick steal, but... And there's the foul there. So 3.6. So I think we can safely call it now. So Sophie Teck at the line. She's at the line for the first time today. Knocks down the first. And missed the second. So final formalities here, and a late fight back from Hobart, but Grenadiers were able to hold on and prevail. And Chelsea Kroll is up and about gingerly. I'm hoping she's okay. Great bravery there to come out there and shake the players' hands. But in the final analysis, Grenadiers get the win here by 5, 49 to 44.